Hey Mama, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Jocelyn Hillam and we are talking about postpartum right now. If you are new to the podcast, I went through a whole pregnancy week by week over the last year. So you can go back to the week, search the week that you're on, or just scroll up and find what week you are in pregnancy. Right now we are doing postpartum, and this is a good milestone postpartum for your physical healing. And let's jump in and talk about it. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. Before we jump into the episode, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. I'm not all medical, but I'm not all natural. So I'm somewhere in the middle. I have had babies via C-section, I've had the epidural, and I've had a couple all natural births that I've chosen. And I can see the value of both. And I think that's why my podcast is a little bit unique, is because I have experience with both. I wouldn't be here without modern medicine. And I also can see the benefits of more natural pregnancy and birth. And I think I have a unique perspective to offer. So I know that most of you listening to this episode are probably postpartum, but keep that in mind for the future, that you don't really have to be all one way or all the other way. There is happy middle ground. And I think that sometimes in our world, they're like either you're all natural or you're all medical. And sometimes that can come with baby care too. But no, mama, that it doesn't have to be all medical or all natural. There is middle ground in raising these little babies. So let's talk about some of those things right now. I mentioned tummy time a little bit last week, and you might be noticing that your baby's neck muscles are getting stronger and they can hold their head up for short periods of time. Maybe even laying them on their tummy, you see that they're able to lift their heads up. This is good because it strengthens their neck muscles, and this can kind of be like baby's form of exercise, which is good for them. Exercise is good for all of us, and them exercising their little necks can be good. Another little exercise that I have done with my babies, and you could practice with yours, you'll have to judge how strong you think their necks are and whether or not they can do this. Some babies at 6 weeks postpartum will be ready for this, and other babies will not. And it's to lay your baby down. I usually just lay them on my lap with their head kind of by like my knees, or you can do this on the ground. Just put their back, lay them on their backs on the ground, and then grab their little hands in your hands and gently pull them up off of the floor to a sitting up position. Now you'll be able to notice if their heads can help them to get there all the way to that sitting position as you pull them, or if you need to give that a little bit more time. If your baby is even strong enough, you can go past the sitting position to a standing position. Again, check with your doctors, but this is another way you can exercise these little babies a little bit to strengthen their muscles. Now, we've talked about colic, and colic can be really hard. Colic is where your baby just gets really grumpy. Your baby cries, as I mentioned in a previous podcast, for at least 3 hours a day for 3 days a week for 3 weeks consecutive. And it is hard. When you have a baby that is just upset all the time, it is really hard. And it can really put you at your wit's end. And I want to go back to some other things that I've talked about. The first one is to ask for help. Give yourself a break. Sometimes, mama, you do need a break. And unfortunately, sometimes you do have to ask for it. I know as a mom, and especially as like an independent mom that wants to be like, yeah, I got this. I can do this by myself. I'm strong. It's like almost a pride issue that you don't want to ask for help, but that help can actually save your mind and help you actually enjoy your motherhood better. Because as you get breaks, even if they're small, you're able to come back a little bit refreshed. I remember when I had 3 young kids and my husband worked a lot. And I was just, I was independent. I didn't want to ask for help, so I honestly didn't ask for help very much. But by the 3rd baby, my husband was seeing the wear and tear on me. And I was struggling a little bit. And so he would bring his boxes home. During this time, we would take boxes to UPS, and the drop-off time was after like 9 p.m. It was a weird hour. And so instead of him just taking the boxes himself, he would bring the boxes and say, here, you deliver the boxes for me. And honestly, it was only like a 20-minute car ride, but it was a 20-minute car ride in peace. And that was so nice. Now, I think he observed this, or I told him, I can't remember. Either way, sometimes you do have to ask. Sometimes they observe and help you out. Sometimes you just need to tell them, hey, I need to go to the store for a little bit. Even if you just need to go walk around the store and just have some calm and peace by yourself, mama. These little things do need to happen because you can wear yourself out and you can get very burnt out as a mom if you don't take care of yourself and have a little bit of these alone times. And everyone's threshold is different. Some moms are going to be more okay and completely happy at home with crying babies all the time. And other moms are going to need bigger breaks. And if you're a mom that needs a bigger break, don't beat yourself up. If you don't completely love being with your baby all the time, 24/7, it doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means you need some breaks, which is okay. It is okay to have some breaks. And it took me a few years to learn that and to allow myself to do that. Now, by the time I've had my 5th baby, I had people helping a lot. In fact, I was even willing to ask people to help because I realized how much better I felt, how much happier I was, and how much smoother everything went when I had some breaks. So don't be afraid to ask for help, especially if you've got just a fussy baby. It is tough. Okay, last week I mentioned this, but 6 weeks is a milestone for you as mama because you usually have a 6-week postpartum checkup. This is where you check in with your doctor or midwife about your physical recovery from birth. Something I probably should have mentioned earlier, but is to write down questions you have before you go into the doctor or midwife, because I don't know what it is about the doctor's offices or midwife offices. They can make you forget, and then you had these like lingering questions or things that don't come to your mind except for on certain occasions that you forget to ask them. So if you write those questions down, you can ask them at this appointment. This is like your last appointment, mama. Isn't that so neat? You have been having appointments for your body, for this baby, for like almost a year. And this will be your final one. So write down those questions and ask them to your doctor. If you're still breastfeeding, make sure to eat plentifully for the proper milk production. And I learned that you can lose weight while nursing. In fact, nursing does help you lose weight, but you have to be eating the right foods in order to keep your milk production up and to be able to have enough to lose weight. So you do need to eat right foods. What does that mean? That means get away from some of the carbs, processed foods that don't really help, and eat whole foods. I heard it said this way once, that if it has a food label, don't eat it. The exception being like milk and dairy products and stuff, but meaning eat your fruits, vegetables, meats type of stuff. Paleo type diet. And I found that as I ate a paleo type diet, which limited the carbs and the processed foods, I lost weight. While I was nursing, the weight just came off. I didn't even have to really stress too much about it. So that is something to start thinking about if you are worried about your milk production, but you want to lose weight. You can do that without starving yourself, and that is through just eating healthy. Drinking a lot of water will help also with milk production. So those are some things to keep in mind. As I was doing research for this episode, I found something really interesting. I wish I would have done all this research before I had my own babies. I would have been a lot more ahead in the game, but I'm helping you be ahead in the game. Because not only have I learned stuff through experience myself, but I'm still learning stuff. I learned that fennel and fenugreek, they're like herbs, help with milk production. It says they taste great, and fennel tea is especially helpful if baby is gassy or has colic. He or she will get the benefits through your breast milk. And to me, that was like really cool. If any of you are struggling, I encourage you to try that, and then let me know your experience. I wish I would have known that for a couple of my colicky babies. I will put Mama Natural's link in the show notes. That's where I have been getting a lot of my supplemental information. Mama, you can do this. My baby is waking up, so I'm going to end this episode soon, but be sure to ask for help and try to stay positive. Say a prayer of thanks for this sweet little baby in your life and in your arms that you get to take care of. You are amazing. We will chat again next week. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.